Welcome back to Fridays Off the Ball. Team OTB are taking on TriAthy next weekend, the 5th of June. It's all in partnership with Whoop, the personalised digital fitness and health coach that helps unlock your inner potential. See whoop.com for more. I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by two of my competitors for the triathlon, Shane Hannon and Tommy Rooney. I nearly said Paddy Rooney. Why would I have said that? Tommy Rooney, how's it going, lads?
Aisling, you must be nervous, Aisling. That's it.
I know. It's 8 days to go. The pressure's mounting.
Competitors, not colleagues as well. You led with that. So that's good to know what ground we're on walking in here.
Well, I feel like this is like having Schumacher, Senna and Hamilton on a Formula 1 podcast. Like we can forget about the other lads. This is where the competition is at. It's one of us three that's going to come out on top, I think.
I don't care who I am. Who did you give yourself there?
I'm probably who's won the most? Hamilton, Schumacher. Whoever's won the most, Tommy, you know yourself.
Okay, I did say competitors, but I do not want to be put in between the two of you now. I'm happy enough if I just complete it. I'll be delighted if that is the case. And we did meet with Caroline Hayes, the triathlete, during the week. She gave us some top tips of the trade, like really helpful. But also I think that is when the reality really kicked in, Shane.
Yeah, and I would say, like, Caroline, obviously 23rd in the Olympics and her first ever Olympics last year. So when you hear that you're going to get top tips from a triathlete like that, you're obviously, Aisling, do everything in your power to be there and to go and to be in there in person to get the tips from her. Tommy Rooney just didn't show up, Aisling. I don't know if this is a mark of disrespect. He thinks he has this thing won. He doesn't need tips from a top triathlete. But myself and yourself were sat there soaking it all in. We were like sponges, the pair of us around that table. Let me
in there. Go on, Tommy. Let me in there. I'll be honest, right? My plan all the time was to make that. I wanted to be there for that. You'll have seen my update on Monday morning. It is the sleepiest I'm looking. I was actually sick. And I was rattled. And I was worried. I was actually worried about the triathlon because I wasn't in the right headspace. Tuesday, I just couldn't. I didn't want to go up there. Wasn't feeling good. Didn't want to be, scaring people off the way things are at the minute. But I'm better now. I'm ready to go. I've been in training mode for the last couple of days. I'm back at the holidays. I'm ready to go. What tips did he give?
No. You are not allowed to know, because some of these tips, if I hadn't gone to this meeting, I would be lost. Like,
why? Go on, give us something.
No chance,
not for me. Not for me, Aisling. For the listener at home who may be taking this on themselves.
I will tell all of you all the tips and tricks after the 5th of June. So, like, what part of it, Shane, that's the hardest for you, or what leg of it are you least looking forward to?
Yeah, like I'm quite nervous about the swim. I know it's only like Tommy there thought it was 750 meters last week. It's actually 250, which is relief to all of us, I think.
You'll float that, Shane. You'll just float through it.
The fact that it's downstream in a river should help. What I'm worried about, and we'll let Tommy in on this little secret, is Caroline was kind of saying the fact that there's 600 odd people, I think, in our particular triathlon. There's going to be a lot of arms flying, flailing and pushing and shoving in the water, which is something I hadn't really considered. People hitting you potentially on purpose. Those competitive people in the water don't really care how you feel about getting a smack in the face doing the front crawl. So that's something that I hadn't really thought about. So now I'm not only worried about the fact that I have to swim down a river, I also have to contend with the 600 odd people in the water with me. So I don't know whether that means I should go near the two of you guys and kind of keep an eye on what you're doing, or kind of keep my distance and be as far away as possible. So that was one aspect, Aisling, that I'm kind of concerned about.
Yeah, and the way she explained it to us as well, she was saying, like, the first time you might just think it was an accident, then they might do it again, and then they might do it again. You'll feel the hand on your shoulder pulling you back. I was like, what? I am not going near anyone. I didn't think I was a bad swimmer, but I've only recently got in the pool, and it's tough. It's tough to
very difficult.
Yeah, the breathing, if you're not used to that, it doesn't matter how fit you are, you have to get that breathing technique right, and yeah, it's really, really tough.
There'll be an element of panic as well, and pandemonium, as Shane is talking about there, and that is also going to make it difficult to get your rhythm in the water. Hannon, there'll only be one person at a 600 targeting you, so you can't go too far away from me.
I feel like maybe should the three of us have some sort of a ploy, some sort of a tactic whereby we stick together for the majority of it. I wouldn't trust you.
Like, that's what I'll be honest. I wouldn't trust you if that was the case.
I wouldn't trust me either.
Myself and Aisling are both from Meath, so I don't know if we want to form some sort of team over here, because isn't there a team already of OTB heads? you know.
There is.
Yeah.
So like they're already only doing a part each. So I don't know about that. The other thing as well, Aisling, is quite interesting. I don't know how you feel about the bike, but we've had the experience of doing these before, where you got to go from the bike to the run, and we've spoken about it before. It's unbelievable the impact it has on your legs when you're using probably more so your quads when you're cycling, and then the hamstrings when you're running. Have you practiced that transition yet? Even if you're doing 5K on the bike and 5K run, have you practiced that at all?
No, and I haven't been back up
Should.
to Down in a few days, and my bike is up there. It's been delivered from a friend, so I
Okay.
need to get up there and get on the bike.
And you'll
I'm
be
a
doing
bit
some
worried about that.
high altitude training, I suppose, up in the mornings.
I wish. No.
The one interesting thing as well, Ashley, and I don't know if I'm exposing Shane here, but just before we came on air there, he was talking about getting a couple of extra inches, a bit of an edge maybe, just that marginal gain when it comes to the bike. And he said he's looking into buying a motor.
Stop. That is surely cheating.
No, if it's a very quiet one, maybe, I don't know. Because I think Jack Gilroy possibly.
Because you get away with it.
Gilroy, I think, already has one. There's no. You see, I was curious asking Carolyn about whether I should shave the beard, you know, for extra aerodynamics in the water. Might help on the bike as well. But Jer will probably have one of these Lycra suits, I'd imagine, for the bike, whereas we'll be kind of hopping on with a pair of shorts, maybe a t-shirt or a singlet or something. So it's little things like that, as you said, Tommy, the marginal gains that I'm wondering, how can we, like, those things you mentioned, the mount and dismount of the bike. Like, there are a number of things Carolyn said that, you know, you have to put your helmet on before you touch your bike. There's a lot of, like, I guess, rules and regulations where you can get time penalties for doing little things, which was, I don't know for you, Aisling, as well. You probably didn't realize that before Carolyn started speaking, because all I was thinking was swim, run, get to your bike, hop on the bike, throw on your helmet. But she was like, no, all this has to be done in a very particular order. Otherwise, you'll suffer the time consequences, which is another thing to have to think about.
Yeah, it's extremely serious, and I didn't realise that whatsoever. She said that if you aren't fully ready with your helmet on, and you had already prior to that touched the bike, you could be disqualified or you could get a penalty time-wise.
Hold on, explain that to me.
So you have to be fully ready. So when you come from the river, the water, you're running towards to getting on the bike, you have to basically have your clothes, everything like that all ready. So if you're taking off any swim stuff, putting on t-shirt, shorts, whatever you plan to do yourself, put your runners on, you have to have your helmet on before you touch your bike. If you had touched your bike before that, then you could be, I don't know if it's disqualified or you get penalised.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's another thing as well, is the clothing, the apparel. Like, how are you supposed to structure? Like, are you going to wear Speedos, Shane, underneath your cycling shorts, or what way are you doing this?
Yeah, I was saying one of them Borat suits maybe might do the trick. But
I told them, please don't.
for everyone else's benefit,
Please
maybe I
don't.
won't.
You're the only one that might do it, though. You can pull it off.
Maybe I'll try it. I'll have a look in the mirror first and see what it's like. Probably will decide otherwise. But no, like, I haven't got any of the proper kit.
Can I give tips? Like what way should you structure your?
Well, I mean, it has to be a wetsuit really for buoyancy in the water. But then, like, you probably wear your maybe shorts or triathlon kind of suit underneath, shorts and a t-shirt, whatever you want for the bike. So then you're just ripping that off. You're using baby powder, I guess, to dry yourself a little bit.
You're giving away all the tips, Shane.
I know I shouldn't have, but I figured he's going to Google all this anyway before we start.
I wasn't, but this is ridiculous. Are you serious? I'm going to start Googling now.
Well, I suppose you have to dry yourself to get on the bike and put on your socks and your socks and runners. Like, that's all time consuming stuff as well. You have to have your laces, I would imagine, untied, ready to go, throw on the shoes. Like, these are the little seconds whereby, you know, that could decide the triathlon lads of the weekend. So I want to have all this ticked off and ready to go.
Yeah, because you'll have a box, isn't it, beside the bike with all your stuff in it, ready to go. You have to keep it neat and tidy, and you can't be throwing stuff all over the place. You know, that's how you get penalised as well. But I thought the talcum powder was a brilliant one, because obviously you're soaking wet and you don't have time to be drying your feet and on everything else, you know, with your towel and taking time and being prissy about the whole thing. You know, you got to go quick. So the talcum powder is the job. So we'll give you that one, Tommy.
I feel like there's going to be a bit of tampering with boxes as well. Like, I would imagine we'll all kind of recognise each other's boxes. There'll probably be a bit of off the ball memorabilia maybe stuck in there, a bit of Whoop memorabilia as well. So I will know where you guys' boxes are. You know, if you happen to run past, say I run past Aisling's box or Tommy's, and I see your gear there, like, the temptation is there to tamper if you feel like you're going to get away with it. But
you're a cheat. You're an absolute cheat.
I said the temptation. Look, I mightn't actually do it, Tommy, but we'll see on the day how competitive I'm feeling.
What's your training plan like over the next week, lads? Because I'm looking at my Whoop there. Quite a lot of activity over the last week. I think I'm number 1 in the off the ball group. Oh no.
No, you're not. I just checked it.
Who is?
Hold on now.
How am I not number 1?
Number 1 in what section? Number 1 in what way?
Yeah,
over the last week.
You mean in sleep or recovery or?
Adrian Barry is ahead. Adrian Barry's beating me.
Adrian Barry every week has been ahead. I have constantly checked this, and he is always at the top. He's doing serious swimming and cycling, but he's only doing the swimming. I know he has some injuries and that he had told us about, so he'll only be doing the swim. But he's been doing a lot of training.
Nice to see over the last week that Nathan Murphy's sleep 100%. He's enjoying his holidays. He's enjoying his holidays. Ash, you're doing pretty well. Your sleep has always been up fairly high with any of these Whoop things you've done. I'm
surprised no one has mentioned that. I was saying that. I was like, I can't believe they don't slag me over my sleep. Is always like 8+ hours.
What have you been at, Hannon? Your average sleep over the last week is 3 hours 23 minutes.
That's incorrect. Like I got 7 hours 25 last night.
Are you alive?
I don't know what. There was one night it told me I got 50 minutes of sleep, guys, which wasn't exactly accurate, but it was because I had taken the watch off. So I'm not blaming the performance band itself. 87% was my sleep score last night, which a bit of rest like that, and I think for the next 7 days, I think if you can get solid sleep, that's half the battle, probably, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of it. I definitely think I would definitely recommend. Thanks for giving me the talcum powder tip. I'm googling it there, and it seems to be legit. I thought you might have been winding me up. I would definitely recommend practicing going from a cycle to a run, even if it's half it, even if it's a 10k cycle, a 2k run. Just practice what that feels like, Aisling, because you'll get a shock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. Because when we were training for the last one, that was something that I constantly tried to improve, because my legs were like jelly. Just jelly. And I asked Carolyn, what can I do for jelly legs? And she was like, nothing. Just keep going. So I was like, oh, right, great. But she said she still gets it. And look, she's an Olympic athlete. So we're doing all right, lads.
Yeah, we'll get there. And it's not about winning, guys. It's about taking part at the end of it all, isn't it?
Absolutely. Well,
what was it, Shane? It was a second you bet me by the last time? Okay.
Oh, right. Okay. It's coming down to fine margins here.
It was just teasing you, Tommy. That was only just get your hopes up for the next one, which clearly I've done. So
8 days to go. The pressure is mounting. I will see you then. June 5th, lads. TriAthy, and we'll see who comes out on top. Thanks a million.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Aisling.
Cheers, guys.